Hi everybody, this is Nikki, the Van Mystic, and today I have your Energy Tarotcast video for the week of August 20th, 2018. So we're going to get started by looking at the energy that is coming in for this week. So what energy should we be expecting as a group, as a collective, as a community here? What energy should we be expecting out of our week? Ooh, Eight of Swords. Okay, so beware of getting yourself caught up in a mental trap where you might have some stress or anxiety towards some kind of a situation or just towards your week in general, and you start to think that things are a lot worse than they are. So it's a little bit of a trickster energy almost that's coming from within ourselves, where we might be kind of turning situations into something worse or escalating them to a point that's not really real. So this is the kind of energy where you start to get so stressed out and you're starting to feel trapped and you're starting to feel bound, but you're not. You're actually just standing there alone, and you could quite easily walk over, feel for those swords, and use them to cut you free. So this is really about creating situations in your head that seem a lot worse or beyond repair than they really are. So just be aware of your thoughts this week and how you're handling situations, conflicts, or challenges, and whether or not you might be sort of spiraling them out of control this week. That might just be the energy that you're sitting in this week, and so it's a good thing to have a little heads up on that. Okay, cool. So how can we best work with and integrate this Eight of Swords energy this week? How can we work with that? That feeling like things are worse than they are, that we're trapped in some situation, even if we're really not in reality. How can we work with that this week? Okay, strength, that's so perfect because it's just a reminder. It's to remind yourself that you have the inner strength, you have the experience, and you have the ability to persevere and to know that you will come out ahead, that everything's going to be okay. So this is really about inner strength, it's about confidence, and it's about having compassion with yourself. So if you find that you're kind of like spiraling in your thoughts and your brain, you're feeling trapped, you're feeling like you're in some sort of situation that isn't going how you wanted it to go, really ground and center yourself. Remember that you have the strength to get through this situation. Remember that nothing is that bad, and that, once this week passes, you will be able to walk into something new. So just be strong through this situation. Check in with yourself pretty consistently, especially if you feel like your thoughts are going in kind of a direction that you don't want them to go in, or a direction that's making you feel constricted. You have the strength to do that. You have the strength to get yourself through this. So it's just a reminder that you yourself can free yourself from that trap, and you have the strength to do so. So that's pretty cool. Okay, great. So where should our focus be this week as a group? Where should our focus be? So this is what's within our control. I always say, the energy we can't really control. We can kind of control how we handle that energy. We're handling the Eight of Swords with strength this week, which is great. But where can we actually intentionally put our focus this week as a group? Alrighty. King of Pentacles. Okay, so put your strength and your focus towards maybe, building up your material world for yourself and getting really organized within that world. So, I think the King of Pentacles is really the master of organization. He knows how to get everything under control and make sure that it's prosperous and abundant at the end of the day. And he does that through organization and using his head, using his experience to make sure that he plans really properly and really well. So this is really a call to plan out your week in a really intentional way. So if you're feeling like you're spiraling a little bit out of control with that Eight of Wands energy, this is a call to make some lists, make some charts, write some things down and get really organized so that at the end of the week you feel like you had a successful week and it just didn't get lost in the stress that you created for yourself. So take that inner strength that we talked about and make sure that you just organize yourself at the beginning of the week so that you don't get lost in that stress that you might be feeling, or that feeling of like overwhelm that you might be feeling this week. Cool, so that's really great. All right. Okay, so where should our focus not be this week? So, what might be kind of coming in to distract us or take our attention away? What should we what should we let go, not give our attention this week? Where should our focus not be as a group? Five of Swords. Okay, so Five of Swords is really about, making sure that you don't get into this place where you feel like you are always right about everything. This is somebody who has to be right and has to win at all costs, even when it's hurting themselves and hurting other people around them. So if you've gotten caught up in this Eight of Swords energy this week, and for example, say you have a situation that's really not going your way, but you've convinced yourself that it's terrible and that, it's going to point A, even though everybody else says it's going to point B, this is a call not to get too attached to the idea that you're right in the situation. Because if you're getting caught up in that kind of anxious in your head energy, there's a real chance that you could lead yourself down the wrong path, and you could end up isolating yourself from others and really clinging to your opinion or clinging to your stress and ending up kind of stewing in it alone. So do your best to be open to the opinions of others, or if somebody else is presenting another path to you or trying to give you some advice or just trying to help you out of your stressful situation or out of the situation that you've created in your mind for yourself. Try to be open to other people. Try not to just be too stubborn about your feelings and how you think things are going, because opening up to another perspective might make you realize that things aren't as bad as you've made yourself believe this week. Cool. So alrighty, so lastly, we're just going to look at the overall lesson of this week. So what is this week really about? What is this week teaching us as a group? What's the takeaway here? Why we got to put up with this Eight of Swords energy, Okay. The lesson of this week. I pulled the Eight of Swords. This is not the first time something like this has happened for us, you guys. Okay, so obviously the lesson of this week is that you are never trapped, okay? The lesson of this week is to realize that sometimes we can really escalate a situation in our heads, feel like something is worse than it is, but you're actually not trapped. You can reach out for help from others, you can reach out to yourself, you can use the tools that surround you to get out of your situation, and you can go back to the King of Pentacles and you can get really organized so that your week doesn't feel too overwhelming or scattered. So it's really just a reminder that you're in control of your week, and not to let it get to a place where you feel like you're not. Because you have that inner strength. Remember, we pulled the Strength card. You have the inner strength, and we're really being reminded that to get through anything that you're faced with this week, and to realize that sometimes your mind is the only thing that's keeping you stuck. So break yourself free from those binds this week, really call on that inner strength, that confidence, that experience that you have to break free from this, get organized. Don't get too stubborn about holding on to your pain or your feelings of overwhelm. Share them with others, be open to other people, and you should be setting yourself up for a pretty awesome week. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. I hope you had a beautiful weekend, and I hope you have a great week.